This is a continuation from a previous video. On that video, I explained that I had no compression. After I checked everything else, this wouldn't run. Wouldn't even run with a prime. Had good ignition, good spark. But after checking the compression, found I only had 62 psi, and so right away in the other video, you'll see where I pulled the head off. There's a little trick in the other video. I showed how I use a glue stick to lap in your valves using a drill. And you might find that useful. I really like that idea. I like that method that I've come up with. That seems to work really good for these small engines. So this video continues on and explains what I found, what really created the low compression. It was not the valves, wasn't the head gasket, had nothing to do with the cylinder wall, rings, all those things that you would and also the valve clearance. Check that right away, make sure there was clearance and the valves weren't being held open a little bit. So hopefully this will be of some interest to some of you who may come across this problem down the road. Well, here it goes. I usually use a different drill, but I'm going to try this cordless, see if it's got enough power to spin this thing. And I haven't checked it yet, so I don't know what it's going to do. $50, $60, $62. Nothing got better. No increase whatsoever. You know what I might do is remove this and open up the one. I thought you were going to air hose the jet before it gets dark. 125. So it went from 60, not quite 65, up to 125 by just not allowing this, whatever's happening in there with the compression release to happen. Well, I took the motor off the lawnmower, took the case off. I thought I'd go ahead. This lawnmower, cost me money now, but it's mine. Mostly doing it out of curiosity, I think, now to see like what's going on. This is the cam that I took out of the machine, and I was looking at the compression releases right here. Don't know if you can see how that little protrusion there, that little ear sticks up. It's not on the high cam side, it's on the back side, and it comes up, and it'll still run over the top of your tappet that rides on there. It's going to bump that up a little bit and release a little compression on your compression stroke when you're initially pulling it to start it. And it's got a little spring on it that keeps this that way. And these little weights here, I'm assuming, is what centrifugal force pulls that away when it revs up to a certain RPM, maybe even a fast pull. Anyhow, I couldn't see anything really, that apparent. It just seemed like it just has a little bit of a stickiness to it, just when you first push on that. So, anyway, I didn't want to spend a lot of money on this machine, so I went and ordered a used camshaft, and got this, it's identical. This one here definitely doesn't stick at all. So I'm going to put this in and see if that'll correct that little problem. Big problem, really. I made a gasket didn't feel like taking the time to order one and wait for it. I had gasket material around, and didn't take too long to make this. What really helps though is that if you have a hole punch, I got a set of these, all different sizes that punch the different size holes, and this one happens to punch this hole, which is just about right for the bolts to go through. So, you know, maybe 10-15 minutes tops to make that. And I'm not real critical on the outside cutting because it's going to just stick out. I can trim it with a knife afterwards if I want. But the inside is pretty close. So I'm going to put this back together. I got my engine back together. Thought I'd show you this little low workbench. When I say low, sometimes I'll put them on a higher one, like that engine when I was putting it together. But I like this low bench. It's got it on wheels. I got everything on wheels so I can move stuff around and put my car in easier enough. No matter where everything is, I can just roll it out of the way. The thing I like about this low bench is I can sit on a chair and work on lawnmowers. Plus, it's at the height where I can tip the lawnmower right back like that and let the handles rest on the floor, and it makes it real easy to assemble the blade, take the blade off and on, or clean it, do whatever. And sometimes it's easier to do it this way, being it's a little shorter this way. You know, I can reach over easier. So I'm going to put the engine on and blade, and we'll give it a try. Oh, there's only 3 bolts holding this engine on. Well, it came out halfway decent. Put it all back together. It starts pretty much right on the first pole. I just had it running here, so it'll probably start off without even priming it. We'll see. I don't know if you can notice it or not, but it runs a little rough. I think it would cut grass all right. I want to see what it does under an actual load, you know, cutting grass. But I'm not going to go any further with it right now. Obviously, the compression, the lack of compression was due to that little tiny release, compression release on the camshaft. Thanks for watching.